Good morning, YouTube. Okay, please excuse the messy hair, messy fingernails, but I wanted to chat today about artist dates. So I have been going through the artist way. This is I went through the first time in 2012, and then I went through it in 2015, then 2021, and then now I'm going through it again in 2023, and I wrote all the years down and who I went through it with. This was the inspiration for my morning mindset pages. I don't do morning mindset is different than morning pages, but morning pages were where I got my start, and then I shifted it to fit me. Something I have always struggled with though is the artist date, because in here those are the top two requirements of the artist way, or suggestions. And I'm great at the morning pages, but the artist date is a lot more difficult. I'm trying to find, let's see if we can find an actual definition of the artist date. All right, the artist date. Think of this combination of tools in terms of a radio receiver and transmitter. Doing the morning pages, you were sending and notifying yourself and the universe of your dreams and your hopes. The artist date, she describes as receiving, opening yourself up to insight, inspiration, and guidance. So what exactly is an artist date? It is a block of time, perhaps 2 hours weekly, set aside where you're committed to nurturing your creative consciousness, your inner artist. In its most primary form, the artist date is an excursion, a play date that you pre-plan and defend against all interlopers. You do not take anyone on this artist date, but you and your inner artist, AKA your creative child. I have really struggled to figure out ideas for artist dates. I am a homebody, so I'm home a lot. And so I'm like, I don't really need the artist date. But I've come to realize that for me, paying attention to how I'm feeling with these different excursions that I attempt to go on, I realized there are two key things for me. One, I have to get out of the house. I have to get out of the house. It doesn't count if I'm at home. I have done fun things at home that my inner child absolutely adores, like spending time out on my back deck, hula hooping, listening to music, reading a book. But for me, it still doesn't count because it is not away from home. So getting away from my house, literally going somewhere. It could be going to a park. It could be going to a coffee shop. It could be going to a bookstore. That is the number one thing that has to actually happen for me to consider it an artist date. The other thing I was missing is I was thinking of the artist date as my inner child, rather than the one word that I was missing that she uses is your creative inner child. The artist date is meant for creativity. It is meant, yes, for play and for fun, just like dating your spouse. A date is supposed to be fun. You're supposed to connect with each other, and it's supposed to be fun. And so it's not supposed to be work. It's not supposed to be about the kids. It's supposed to connect you to each other and be fun. And so I had the fun part, but I wasn't and I had the connection with the inner child, but not the inner creative child. So knowing those two things now, my artist date excursions have been so much more productive. I am plotting. I am excited about writing again. I'm excited about art. I'm excited about all the creative things because I'm connecting with that creative child. Now, how we connect with our creative child, how we do our artist dates, they will all be very different. For me, my favorite book, one of my favorite used bookstores is definitely one of the places I go for my artist date, and I don't even have to buy anything. But when I take my creative inner child down the poetry aisle, I was introduced to, it's really, I feel like it's kind of a combination between my child, my creative inner child, and my creative inner teen, because I was huge into poetry as a teenager. So taking my creative inner teen down the poetry aisle literally uplifts my mood, like literally, even if I find nothing. But just walking through the bookstore without an agenda, without, like there's no time limits, I end up finding myself creative, because creativity is also looking at all the art on the book covers. So that's one of my favorite things. Again, going to a coffee shop, my inner teen, like that coffee little splurge. And so sometimes I will bring a book to the coffee shop, have my coffee. I just did this last week. My husband was actually going to get a massage, and I'm like, hey, can you drop me at the coffee shop? And so I sat there and read a book and had my coffee, and all the ideas were flowing. So I journaled them all down. So that's another favorite of mine. But I had to talk about this. I'm actually going to make a list for myself in thinking, now that those two key factors have come to my attention, I think it would be great to sit down. I will probably do it in my Hobonichi just so it's there. And that way it'll be easy. I do this with my marriage too. In the Wild Sexy Marriage, I talk about creating a 100 dates ideas list. That way you've got them there. So when you are wondering, what are we gonna do? You've got it right there. I need to be better about using mine, because my husband and I, we do have our favorite places though, that we end up going back and forth between. But why not create a 100 artist date list with your creative inner child and creative inner teen in mind? I think it would be a great idea. Let me know if you participate in artist dates and what some of your favorites are. Another one that I love is doing a photo walk. And it can even be around my neighborhood. I don't have to actually get in the car. Now, I do love getting in the car and going to the park or the rose garden, because it's just gorgeous. But even if I intentionally go out looking for beauty to capture, my inner child, my inner creative child and inner creative teen are very happy, very happy. Okay. Have you done the artist way? What were your thoughts? Let me know your favorite artist date so I can add it to my list of things to try. I can't wait. Maybe I'll do like an artist date vlog. That could be fun. Okay, until next time, enjoy your wild, sexy lives.